Hey guys, Weasel here. Before we get to the story today, I do want to take a moment and thank all of you for watching the video today, and a big thank you to my subscribers for all your continued support. I know my upload schedule hasn't been stable recently, and I've had some things going on, but this video type is one of the ways I'm planning on fixing that. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure that you do so and you hit that little bell notification. That way you're getting informed every time we upload. Or if YouTube's not your thing or you don't have an account, check us out on our social media, Instagram and Twitter. It'll be down below in the description. And without further ado, let's get to what you all came here for. Alright guys, so the story I wanted to talk about today is about the time I almost got shanked at work. It's not a very long story, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But it basically goes down, so I came in, this is when I was working retail, so most of my story is going to center around retail, because retail is where you're going to see a lot of weird shit. Anyone who's worked retail, especially like small grocery stores like I have, knows the weird shit I'm talking about. Now, the neighborhood that my store is situated in wasn't a bad neighborhood, but it's progressively gotten worse. There's a lot more crime, a lot more drugs, so you see a lot more crazy crap. Now, this was about 2-3 years ago, and I came in on the morning shift as a stalker, and pretty much all you're doing for the course of the day is, working all the back stock that you have, all the product that isn't on the shelves. You're making sure that's going out and blocking everything up. And I was on aisle 2. To give you a kind of an idea of this area that takes place, you have customer service at the front of the store, which is on aisle 1, and at the far back end of the store is the liquor section, right across from each other, and that's all on aisle 1. And so I was on aisle 2 blocking. When I come around the corner to check the end caps, I see my manager is following 2 guys to the back, and she kind of indicates to me, hey, they're up to no good. So I go back and I hang back, and one of the guys, they go back, they each grab a big bottle of alcohol. I can't remember exactly what it was. And they kind of split up as soon as they come out the door for alcohol, one going down aisle 1, one going down aisle 2. I follow the one going down aisle 2, she goes with the one to aisle 1. Aisle 2 guy kind of is just, taking his sweet time loitering his way up to the front, and I'm just kind of walking behind him, making sure he's going to pay. And I think he kind of noticed this. In the meantime, I have the guy who went up aisle 1 who's gone up to the register and, acts like he's going to pay, then pretends like he doesn't have any money. And I can hear him kind of arguing back and forth up there, so I'm kind of making my way up a little bit faster. Now this guy notices that, and he starts moving faster until he's at the point he's going to make a break for the door. So I run up behind him, I snag the bottle of alcohol from out of his hands, and I continue moving towards the front with this guy on my rear. And as I get up to the front, from what it looks like to me, I'm not entirely sure how it was from the cashier's perspective. I could see the man who had the alcohol struggling with this little small female cashier over this bottle of alcohol. And my immediate thought process, well, one, I was having a really shitty day, but 2 was that, he's going to hurt this little girl. So I start sprinting up to the front, and I shoulder check the guy. I tackle his ass to the ground. And we're both on the ground, and in the meantime, I've already, thrown the alcohol bottle to the side. I don't think it broke. I don't remember it breaking. And I believe my manager even recovered that. In the meantime, the cashier used the opportunity to snag the bottle away from the guy, and we're both on the ground, and, I'm already thinking, okay, well, I don't want this to escalate any further, so I push myself up off the ground, and I kind of get my distance from the guy. He stands up and immediately, squares off with me. And I didn't recognize him at first, but then after a couple seconds, I'm like, oh, wait, this is one of our usual customers. Maybe I made a mistake here. But it quickly became apparent because everyone's kind of, in this defensive posture that that's not the case. This guy was legitimately in here trying to steal, and he was getting violent, so ultimately, in hindsight, I did make the right choice, but right then I was kind of questioning it. And him and I are kind of squared up, and the other guy is his brother, apparently, from what I understood, the way they were talking to each other. And, they're both yelling at me, they're going to kick my ass, all this, and I'm kind of, I'm backing up and making sure I'm in the camera's view. That way, if they throw a punch at me, I'm covered as far as, liability goes, and that I can defend myself. And it continues to escalate. A couple of the customers around me start yelling at them as well, and they're escalating things. And at this point, I hear the brother say, hey, get your knife out. And my immediate response is to go in and restrain the guy. But again, that part of me is kind of like, maybe he doesn't have a knife. What if I escalate this? What if I'm illegally responsible for the situation? And sure enough, guy pulls out a knife, flips it open, and he's got it, held on me. So I pull out, and we have these little dinky box cutters that everyone gets. Not the safety ones, like a little metal sheath. I'll see if I can include a picture of one for you. But it's like a little metal sheath that comes over this really crappy holder that holds just a razor blade inside of it. And I pull that out, and that's pretty much all I have at this time. And I'm holding that, and I've backed up to the point that I'm at the registers, and I'm like, okay, if he's coming in and we're going to do this, it's all going to be on camera regardless of what happens. And I'm not saying much. I'm just kind of like trying to think of a way I can either diffuse the situation, or if he does come at me, what my options are. And he's sitting there, and the brother's screaming at me, get in there, cut him, kill him. And he's kind of like getting agitated. I can tell he doesn't really want to do it. So he and I are just standing there having the standoff. In the meantime, one of the customers has gone and grabbed a sanitizer dispenser pole. No idea what the hell she was thinking she's going to do with that. She could barely lift the damn thing. But she's sitting there holding it too, and that's escalating things. So me and him are standing there. In the meantime, I think it finally dawned on them, and I hadn't really noticed either, but my manager and the cashier and several customers all had their phones out, and we're all on the phone with police dispatch. And we're giving descriptions of these guys. They realize this, so they start backing up out of the store. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna push the pressure. I'm gonna get to the door so I can close the door or whatever I need to do. So I push up to the door. And in the meantime, they start walking away from the store. The brother, not the guy with the knife, the guy with the knife, like I said, I knew he was a regular customer at one point, and actually was a very nice guy from the original few times I had met him. But the brother turns around and yells at me, hey, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna fuck up you and your family. And that was the last straw. I'm like, well, why don't you just come at me right here, right now? So, they start squaring up to me again. Then you can kind of hear the police sirens coming up, and they book it down the street. So I go back inside. Manager pulls me back inside so I can calm down, so everyone else can calm down. And we're back, I'm back. Okay, I'm going to go back to blocking my aisle, so I'm doing the end cap and aisle 3. And police officer walks in, talks to my manager, and my manager calls me up and he says, hey, we got 2 guys in custody. We want you to come identify them. So I'm thinking, oh, great. Yeah, this is going to end well. So I go and I get in the police car, and they drive me about a block away from the store. I'm in the back of this police car, and, they pull up a good ways up from the street. And he says they're over there by that other patrol car. And sure enough, they had him in cuffs. They had searched them. They had found the knife. They had found drugs, apparently. And not a surprise, really, considering what the guy looked like. When I first met him, a really big, kind of chunky guy, and he looked like Skeletor at this point in time. And, I said, yeah, that's the guy who pulled the knife on me. That's the brother. He was threatening to, hurt me and my family. And the police officer says, okay. So he goes ahead, he goes out, and he, talks to the other police officers. I can't hear. I'm in the back of this patrol car. They're on the side of the patrol car, and the brother's noticed me. He's staring right at me. I'm staring right back at him, thinking, okay, I hope both of these guys go to jail, because I really don't want this to be a thing, because I live around here. And so a little bit of time passes. They talk. Police officer comes back to the car, and he gets in, and he drives me back to the store, and he says, okay, well, I'm going to get a few details, and I want to see the cameras. So he sits down, he talks with me. I tell him, my side of the story, everything that happened, and then he goes with my manager to review the cameras and leaves. And I wish that's where the story ended, because it most certainly does not. Over the course of the next week or so, I did find out that they ultimately did not arrest the brother, because he neither had a weapon nor was he carrying the drugs on him, though it was obvious he was probably using them. They left him be. And his brother was actually arrested and taken into custody and was going to court. I had actually received a summons from the court to appear as a witness, which I wasn't too thrilled about, but, what are you going to do? I can't say no to the court. So I was getting ready for that. And anyway, so I started, I have this old Army bayonet, an M7 bayonet that was given to me by none other than Mr. Tweedy as a birthday present. And I started carrying that to work with me. My manager was not too thrilled about it, but I told her, hey, there's a guy out there who's literally threatened to kill me and my family. I'm not coming to work, and I'm not leaving work unarmed. So I was carrying that to work with me. And then one day, I'd notice him on the street every once in a while, and he didn't really seem to notice me. But one day he did, and he started to follow me. So instead of taking the direct route back to my house, I went down several blocks and turned the corner behind this cricket store. And I waited, and sure enough, he comes around that corner, and I lift my shirt, and I show him this bayonet, and I said, look, if we're going to do this, let's do this. To which he kind of looked at me, kind of eyeballed, weighed the situation, turned around, and walked away. And then I, walked a few more blocks away from my home, turned, and then I made my way back home, making sure he wasn't following me. Thankfully, this is where the escalation with this guy stops. I didn't see much of him afterwards. What I did find out later, which made me very mad, the police officer came back, and he had another letter from the court saying I did not need to appear. Yeah, the guy had taken a plea bargain. I don't know. I guess he ratted out on his dealer or something, and he got out scot-free pretty much. And he was back on the streets now. So now this is 2 people that have threatened my life and pulled a weapon on me who are just walking the streets freely. And for the most part, like, this would weigh heavily on my mind. I didn't see much of them afterwards. I'm guessing whoever this guy ratted out or sold out to get out of prison must have been in the area or had friends in the area, because I have not seen these guys since. In fact, I'm not even certain that they're still alive. Whether that be through their own drug use or if somebody decided to get even with them, I don't know. And quite frankly, don't care. But, that's my first experience in retail having a weapon pulled on me. And I just thought I'd like to share that with you guys. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, you want to hear more of my experiences in retail, make sure that you put a like down below to let me know you enjoyed it. And, comment below if you have any similar experiences or experiences, you would like to share with everyone about your experiences working retail or anywhere else where something similar might have happened to you or scary might have happened to you. And if there's a comment down there that really catches my attention, I'll make sure that I give you a shout out in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. See you in the next one.